Everybody, this improv story is based on an idea. Man gets a new job, let the story commence. Craig was excited, but nervous. He had just got a new job. He'd been telling people, I hate my fucking job, I hate the people in it, and it doesn't pay enough. He applied for a job and got a job that paid more for less work, and the type of work he was doing was more up his street. When he went in for the interview, it was a nice place. The people seemed nice. The interviewer seemed nice. Just really nice. You actually would like to... It's just an office. But just something about, you know, it was laid out and it wasn't too neat and tidy, that kind of stuffy sort of wanky up at St. Arseway. You kind of leave that there. You got to move that. Not like that. But it's kind of nice, kind of plants and things like that. And there was a bit of music, but nothing too, like, annoying. Like, yip, yippee, yippee. There was a, like that. You know, there was a place he used to work. It was in the last place he worked, this cunt used to play this fucking song at a time. That wasn't in this place. And you never heard it again. He never heard it again. It is not in this story. He's like, this looks nice. This looks really nice. And when he was actually in for the interview, there was somebody in there that looked nice, you know. Somebody caught his eye, you know. You know, I mean, he shouldn't really be thinking like that. He shouldn't be thinking like that. But he did. He started work on the Monday, and that was good. And the Tuesday, got talking to everybody, and including that special someone, that woman. And then on the Friday, said, we're all going out for drinks. You coming out? You able to join us? Go out for a wee drink? We team building exercise. Is it really team building? No. Because just going for a drink. I'm just joking. All right. All right. You going. And you going to her? I'm going. He got drunk and he went like that. She turned her and saw him like that, looking at her like that, in the pub, looking at her like that. Oh. And he went in on Monday and nobody was there. The whole place, it was just this, it's like it never existed. It's gone. Because that's what they did. They're like, what can we do? What can you say? Didn't really say anything. Didn't really like do anything. Then he get physical. Then he say it inappropriate. It happened outside work. Can you really say that, you know, going to give a verbal warning? You can't really sort of look at people like that. And legally, shit drags on, awkwardness. What'd you do? Do you know what I mean? Kind of sack them. So they just fucked off. They fucked off. And they were never seen again. Craig got paid at the end of the month and then didn't get paid again. Craig thought, I think I did something, I don't know what. I was probably staring. And I think they just went like that. We need to get away from you. I'm not going to investigate. I'm not going to ask questions. I'm not going to bring it up. I'm just sort of going to move on. That was that. That was that. Got another job. What happened to that job? I just kind of moved on. Just wasn't really... moved on, forgot about it. But then, Craig was on his deathbed, surrounded by friends and family. They ended up getting married, had weddings, grand weddings, all that. 85 he was. And he was just about to die. He said, "It's my time. I'm slipping away." And they went, "You can go now." Because apparently it's alright, you might kind of say that. It's alright for you to go. Sometimes these old folk, they hold on, you know. They need to hear, "You can go now," even if they're sleeping. And that, you know. He said it, he said, "I'm ready to go now." And they went, "Alright, and we'll let you go." And they just watched him. And he was just like that, look. And then, record scratch. And somebody came in the door and went like, "Hold on. There's somebody who wants to see you." And they looked. And it was this 80-year-old, 85-year-old woman. And she came in like that. Kind of like a Zimmer frame sort of thing. Craig went like that. Who the fuck's that? Who's that? And she went like that. "It's me. Heard you wanted to shag. Do you remember me?" And he went, "You fat, my old job." And the family were like, by the way, he's come back to life. No, literally back to life, you know, it's livened up. And she went, "Aye. Do you still want to shag me?" He went, "Aye." The doctor came in like that, "You can't. You can't." And Craig went, "Oh no, will it kill me? I'm fucking dying anyway." And he went, "Well, it's just, it would kill you, you're not doing it. You wouldn't be able to do it anyway at your age." And they looked down, and he had some size of fucking hard on, by the way. Tent pole. And they're like, "Aye, right. No way." Family went like that, right? Looked like this is a practical fucking joke. And it really was his fucking knob. And all the blood, he was already kind of quite pale. All the blood for his body went to his heart on. And that killed him. His brain got starved of oxygen. So that gave him brain damage. So he was no longer... He was conscious, but he didn't really have a consciousness, if you know what I mean. Really complicated stuff. Ethical grey area and all the rest of it. And she went like that. So, am I allowed to shag him or no? Or what? And you know, some of the Waynes were, you know, the Waynes, Grand Waynes and all the rest. Grand Waynes were like in their 20s, by the way, you know, like they were like that. Some were like, "No! He can't decide, and other ones like, well, he did decide, remember he said, and there's the hard on, do you know what I mean? What do we do, man? Someone going, I can't believe we're even thinking about this. Is he saying aye? Aye, but he did, and this is what killed him. It was it saying aye that killed him. It's like the hard on, there's his hard on, that's his dying wish. That's his last will and testament. His last willy. His last willy and testament. Other ones, that's not funny. Right, doctor, can you like switch the machine off or something? Oh, what are you doing? And that old one, your old woman was like, no, I'm Randy as fuck. I wouldn't have been here. I've been waiting for him. The reason why the company moved is because my boss was trying to fucking shag us. I liked Craig. When he looked at me like that, I was ready to do that face back. But the boss went like that. And went like, oh my God, that's dreadful, that look he gave you. I was into him. I was about to date to him. And I've been looking for him. The boss took us away to like, Australia that night. So they went like, right, we're going to get in the best fucking brains, philosophers and all that. We're going to chat about it, talk about it right here. Chop about it, and talk about it right here. And they used AI. I mean, they just thought, listen, the ethics is fucked here, so may as well bring AI in. And they used AI to like, what would Jean-Paul Sartre say about this, and what would Aristotle, what would he say? Marx, Freud, Nietzsche, Voltaire, Hawkins, all the best philosophers the world's ever known. Descartes. Getting AI to say it and all that, and people that, like one philosopher, like Aristotle was saying, aye, that's what he wanted, that's what killed him, so you should let him shag her. And one of the family members who disagreed with that went like, it's all shite. This is not Aristotle. In fact, watch this. I'm using Flash 3 right now. I'm using Adobe Flash 3 right now. And I'm trying to get a movie clip symbol instance to follow the mouse. It's not working. How do I do it? And it started saying, well, what you have to do is you have to do this, you have to do that. X equals... And this family member like, now that has proven it's a lot of shit, because for starters, it was not called Adobe Flash 3, it was called Macromedia Flash 3, and it did not have variables. Alright? It was just tail-target and stuff like that. I fucking knew it. See, so it's rang about that, so it's rang about everything. Everybody else went like that. I don't know anything about Flash. That's no relevant to these proceedings. You're just showing off that you know about Flash. You're just showing off. You just shoehorned that in. And the main doctor went like that. Now look, it's time to make a decision. We're going to do it like the day in Bullseye, and it's the time it takes for the board to revolve. You've got that long to decide on what we're going to do, but they instead turned the hospital bed because it's on wheels. Got the time it takes for his hard on to revolve fully around, because we're going to like make the bed turn, to decide. and they played the music. They went like that. Hold on, just get up YouTube. Bullseye episode, random full episode, one of the later ones, 84, 86, go for that.
Ladies do, but the red segments are the segments.
Right. Anyway, right, hold on.
Seconds, listen very carefully. Your money, equipment for your phone. Star prize, take the 6 darts. You've got the time it takes the board to revolve to tell us what you want to do. Everything, or take the prizes and run. You've got the time it takes the board to revolve to tell us what you want to do. 101 or more with 6 darts. What would you do, audience, with those prizes? Tell us. Would you gamble? Come on. Well, I don't know. What do you think?
That music.
Well, I'm looking at you now, boys. Will you tell me now?
And the cock was as pink as his suit there. And they made a decision. The family all chatted to each other. And they went, we're gone, and they looked, just about to say, they all conferred. And they looked, and the old woman had actually dropped dead, natural causes. And they went, this has added a new dimension to it. Will we let them both shag even though she's dead? And he's kinda dead. And he went, right, listen, here's what we'll do. Doctor, switch the machine off, right? Put some elastic bands around the knob to keep that on the go. And then we'll sort of like pick her up and sort of like, go like that. Just 3 or 4, just sort of like token pumps. So it's no like, it's kind of symbolic, like like it's nothing that anybody could really, really get hot and bothered by. It's what he wanted. He's dead anyway. She's dead. Just do that, and then we just sort of forget all about it. And so they did that, right? A few people were sick. A few people looked away. A few people looked away.
A few people
laughed. A few people laughed.
A few people cried.
Most
people were silent.
And the doctor said, I think what it's best to do now is something terrible has happened to you. I think we should actually take a leaf out of that company that they used to work at, their book, and I think we just move. The hospital will just move. And they went, yeah, aye. So just forget about it, right? If any of you say that happened to you, it's not going to be here anymore. And right enough, they left. And one of the guy's daughters, she usually drives past that hospital on her way to work in the morning. The next day, she thought she'd got lost because she's like needing to look up to the hospital. Normally she's like, the hospital's always on her right when she's gone down the motorway towards work. Wasn't it there? She's like, went the wrong way. Hospital, left, they just picked it up, went away with it. Dismantled the entire hospital and took it to fuck knows where. You could say, I know, but you're still taking that room with you. No, you're not. Because you're taking the room but the space within it where the thing happened is still up there in the air. Do you know what I mean? That happened at that location, those coordinates. It didn't happen in the room. It happened at those coordinates. So you simply moved the hotel. There was actually a hotel in the hospital, but that's no, so they had to move that as well. For people visiting, family members, because they were all staying in the hotel. They had, a lot of people had actually moved abroad, remember, because, right? They're like, we can't just keep out in the corridors. And, I've moved down south now and I'm coming up to visit my father who's dying. The hospital's got a hotel in it. It's a thing. It's a new thing. They charge you a fucking fortune. They actually get a lot of money for it. They actually moved it really, really far away, the hospital, all the way around the world. As in, back again, but just along a wee bit. Because she went like that, she looked to the right, but then looked to the left. The hospital was right there. They just sort of moved it across the road. Because just as long as it's no there, the coordinates where the incident happened, they could have just actually moved it by a metre. Really? And by the way, she was too busy looking at that, so she crashed and died. The end. It's instant death, by the way, near that hospital carry on. There's an epilogue. I just want to point something out. I told that as if it was like just a kind of improv story. It was actually a true story. Every word I just told there actually happened. How do I know? I was one of the building site guys working on the dismantling of the hospital to move it across the road. Well, it got all the way around the world and then back again to slightly kind of like before we got all the way, full 360. And I was like, what's this all about? And I was asking, and the boys told us, or the lads told us, do you know we're on coke? On the building sites. We're on coke. The end.